NTD's Birs spoke with economic and national security analyst Antonio Gurcefo about the Chinese regime's role in this new war.
Antonio Gurcefo, thank you for joining us. Chinese regime leader Xi Jinping said over the weekend that Israel should grant independence to Palestine. We know that the Chinese Communist Party, there's always some kind of a hidden agenda behind the scenes with them. Why might it be in the CCP's advantage to advocate for independence of Palestine?
Thank you. Yeah, in addition to calling for an independent Palestine, he's also refused to condemn these attacks on Israel over the weekend. And there's a number of reasons why China would benefit from closer ties with Palestine. This includes undermining U.S. hegemony in the region and also oil, economic interest that China is trading with both Iran and Saudi Arabia, and they need Israel to be out of the picture.
Now, we know Iran backs Hamas by providing funding and equipment. You've noted that China and Russia both bypassed trade sanctions on Iran, helping them financially. Given this, how should we view China and Russia's role in the attack?
So there's definitely a link in that, you know, China underwrites the Iranian regime, and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps of Iran is credited with having supported, Hamas credits them with having supported their invasion, helping them plan it, giving them the go-ahead. We also suspect that Chinese technology was used to breach Israel's defense perimeter.
And should the international community hold China and Russia accountable for this indirect financial assistance? And if so, what should that look like?
I think that's definitely going to happen. We've shown that the Ukraine war is showing that the U.S. is very willing, the international community is more willing now to use secondary sanctions. Over the weekend, I believe 25 more Chinese companies were sanctioned for supporting the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And now there's going to be massive sanctions on Russian and Chinese companies that support Iran.
And in order to prevent and stop terrorism in the Middle East, do measures against the Chinese Communist Party also need to be considered here?
Well, it certainly needs to be considered. I mean, Iran is known to be a state sponsor of terrorism around the world, and they export the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. You know, they're present in Syria and various places around the world, also supporting Hamas, who's all over the world. So clearly, you know, Iran is sponsoring these groups, and they're getting a lot of their money from China.
And now, you know, we know China in Xinjiang targets Muslims there. But in this instance, they're supporting Muslims. You know, this seems double standard.
Yes, China tries to present an image to the world that they're supporting Muslims, and they've got all the Belt and Road Muslim countries to basically keep quiet about what's happening in Xinjiang. Palestine is keeping quiet about what happened in Xinjiang. And so China presents themselves to the world as a friend of the Muslims, and they say that the United States is an enemy of Muslims.
All right, Antonio Gurcefo, thank you again.